Hallelujah to the Most High. All praise and glory to His holy name. Shabbat Shalom, Israel. We're going to go into scriptures and bring forth the understanding of this word. Giving all praise and glory to the Most High. As always, we'll start with Colossians 3:17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, whatever you say, whatever you do all by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, in the name of the Lord and Savior, Mashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father, by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. So all that we say and do is going to be in the name of the Lord and Savior. And we give thanks to Yahweh, by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, in the name of the Lord and Savior. Because no man cometh to the Father but by Mashiach Yahushua. So let's go into the law. Let's go into the law first. Let's go to Deuteronomy 6. Deuteronomy 6th chapter and the 4th verse. We're going to read down from there. Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Hear, O Israel, the Most High, our power is one power. See? Hear, O Israel, the Most High, our power is one power. That's the first of all the commandments, right there. That's the first of all the commandments. Hear, O Israel, the Most High, our power is one. And thou shalt love the Most High thy power with all thine heart, with all thy soul, with all thy might. And these words, and that's the first commandment, but not the first of all the commandments. That's why you see before that was, Hear, O Israel, the Most High, our power is one power. That's the first of all the commandments. But the first commandment is, and thou shalt love the Most High thy power with all thine heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. And your heart is your mind, shall be in your mind. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. You got to start talking about these laws of the Most High, what's right. So you can teach the children what's right. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. These words of the Most High in this Bible. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house, and on thy gates. And it shall be, when the Most High thy power shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities, which thou buildest not. See? He's going to give us great and goodly cities that we're not going to build. We're not going to build. Tells you to go to Isaiah, the 60th chapter. That's why it's so important for us to keep his laws. So we can bring us into a kingdom that we're not going to build. So it tells in Isaiah 60 and 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. See? Therefore thine gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring into thee the forces of the Gentiles. Everything that they have, money, the things that they're making for the kingdom, everything. These nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, just like it is now. Instead of the IRS, going to be the Israelites receiving services from the other nations. See? And that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. See that? So the nation and kingdom that don't want to serve 12 tribes of Israel shall perish. Yeah. Those nations shall be utterly wasted. They're going to be utterly wasted. So, going back to Deuteronomy 6, and we're going to look at verse 13. Thou shalt fear the Most High thy power. Thou shalt fear the Most High thy power. Read you again for understanding. Thou shalt fear the Most High thy power, which is your power, and serve him, and shall swear by his name. See? Deuteronomy 10 and 20. Deuteronomy 10 and 20. Thou shalt fear the Most High. That means you're supposed to be afraid of him. Giving him the utmost respect. You're supposed to be scared of the Most High. That's what fear means. So a lot of you want to come up with your own little definition when you open up the Bible, because you've been taught in the churches that you ain't supposed to be afraid of the Most High. God is love. Yeah. He loved to bless and he loved to curse. Point blank. Thou shalt fear the Most High thy power. Him shalt thou serve, and to him shalt thou cleave, and swear by his name. See? He is thy praise, and he is thy power. That's thy is yours, which is a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership. Y'all talking about to me these and thous. Yeah, you better hear that thy power. That's the Most High. He's all power. The power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Point blank. It says, verse 21, Deuteronomy 10:21. He is thy praise, and he is thy power, that have done for thee these great and terrible things which thine eyes have seen. See? Look at Deuteronomy 6 and 16. Deuteronomy 6:16. You shall not tempt the Most High your power, as you tempted him in Messiah. You shall diligently keep the commandments of the Most High, your power. You see, these commandments are his. You shall diligently keep the commandments of the Most High, your power, and his testimonies, and his statutes, which he hath commanded thee. And thou shalt do that which is right and good in the sight of the Most High. No matter what you do, whatever you say, whatever you do is in the sight of the Most High. His eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and even the secret ones. So I say, and thou shalt do that which is right and good in the sight of the Most High, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest go in and possess the good land which the Most High sware unto thy fathers. See? Very important. Deuteronomy 7 and 11. Deuteronomy 7 and 11. Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I command thee this day to do them. Deuteronomy 8 and 5. Thou shalt also consider in thine heart, which is your mind, that as a man chastens his son, so the Most High thy power chastens thee. Therefore, thou shalt keep the commandments of the Most High thy power, to walk in his ways, and to fear him. You got to keep the commandments of the Most High and fear the Most High. For the Most High thy power bringeth thee into a good land, a land of brooks of water, of fountains and depths that spring out of valleys and hills, a land of wheat and barley and vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of olive and honey, a land wherein thou shalt eat bread without scarceness, plenteousness. Thou shalt not lack anything in it. You don't lack anything in it. A land whose stones are iron, and out of whose hills thou mayest dig grass. When thou hast eaten and art full, then thou shalt bless the Most High thy power for the good land which he hath given thee. See, it says, here go a warning. He said, beware that thou forget not the Most High thy power, in not keeping his commandments and his judgments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, lest when thou hast eaten and art full, and hast built goodly houses and dwelt therein, and when thy herds and thy flocks multiply, and thy silver and thy gold is multiplied, and all that thou hast is multiplied, then thine heart be lifted up. Pride, you get prideful. And thou forget the Most High thy power, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage, who led thee through that great and terrible wilderness, wherein were fiery serpents and scorpions and drought, where there was no water, who brought thee forth water out of the rock of flint. Do you remember me? The Most High saying, don't forget me. If you don't remember me, I got something for you. Who led thee in the wilderness with manna, which thy fathers knew not, that he might humble thee, and that he might prove thee, to do thee good at thy latter end. And thou say in thine heart, you say in your own mind, my power and the might of mine hand have gotten me this wealth. See, that's what a lot of people today feel. Their power has gotten them this wealth. Thou shalt remember the Most High thy power, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant which he sware unto thy fathers, as it is this day. See? You can't look at this as you're so powerful that you get it on your own. The Most High was to be praised for everything. Everything. Deuteronomy 9:7. Remember and forget not how I provoked the Most High thy power to wrath in the wilderness, from the day that thou didst depart out of the land of Egypt, until you came unto this place. Ye have been rebellious against the Most High. So I say, remember how you provoked the Most High to wrath in the wilderness. Also in Horeb, you provoked the Most High to wrath, so that the Most High was angry with you to have destroyed you. See, that's why people don't know that the Most High, I always remind you, the Most High told Moses, move out of the way, I'm going to destroy all of them. I'm going to make a nation out of you, Moses. Then he came and told John the Baptist that he's going to raise up some stones. He could raise up some stones to be his people. He don't need us, we need him. Oh, how much we need him. Hear the word of the Most High. This is real. Verse 9. Deuteronomy 9:9. When I was gone up into the mount to receive the tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant which the Most High made with you, then I abode in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. I neither did eat bread nor drink water. Fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. No food or water. And the Most High delivered unto me 2 tables of stone written with the finger of the Most High. Hear that? So when y'all be talking about who wrote the Bible, who wrote this and who wrote that, 10 Commandments, all the laws were written by the finger of the Most High. But the 10 Commandments is a synopsis of how we serve the Most High and how we serve each other, how we love the Most High and how we love each other. That's what it's all about. Written with the finger of the Most High, verse 10. And on them was written according to all the words which the Most High spake with you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly. Go back to Exodus, the 20th chapter. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days and 40 nights that the Most High gave me the 2 tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant. The Most High said unto me, Arise, get thee down quickly from thence. For thy people which thou hast brought forth out of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They are quickly turned aside out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten image. Furthermore, the Most High spake unto me, saying, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. So I say, the Most High see everything. Now he's in the mount with Moses, and he's telling Moses what we doing where? On the earth. What we doing in the wilderness. Do you think he don't see what we're doing now? Whatever we're doing now? Oh yeah, his eyes is upon everything. See, people think they can just do whatever they want to do, and the Most High don't see them. Let me read it. I quoted it. Let me read it to you, so you'll know. Just like he was there with Moses, and he was telling Moses exactly what we were doing on right there amongst Aaron and all the rest of the wicked Israelites building that calf. Look at Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha 23 and 29. 19. Such a man only heareth or feareth, such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Most High are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. You hear that? 10,000 times brighter than the sun. 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts. So ain't nothing you could do in secret with the Most High. Nothing. Nothing. He see everything. That's why you see what he said. He told Moses just what we're doing. Going back to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 9 and verse 13 again. Furthermore, the Most High spake unto me, saying, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Understand this too. Most High always speak to his ministers or the angels. Ain't nobody ever seen the Most High. It ain't like Moses is right there in the he's seeing the Most High. No. Verse 14, let me alone, that I may destroy them. Hear that? Can you imagine being before the Most High? And it's coming out, let me alone. Don't even look at me. Don't even talk to me. Don't even look my way. Because the angel was bringing forth the word of the Most High. The Spirit is bringing forth the word of the Most High. He said, let me alone, that I may destroy them and blot out their name from under heaven. You hear that? Blot out their name from under heaven. And I will make of thee a nation mightier and greater than they. You know? That's who we serve. He said, I'll make a nation out of you, Moses, mightier and greater than they. That's serious. Now, you gonna mess with the Most High? You ain't gonna fear the Most High? So I turned and came down from the mount, and the mount burned with fire. The 2 tables of the covenant were in my hand, 2 hands. And I looked, and behold, ye had sinned against the Most High your power, and had made you a molten calf. Ye had turned aside quickly out of the way which the Most High your had commanded you. And I took the 2 tables and cast them. And I took the 2 tables and cast them out of my 2 hands, and brake them before your eyes. And I fell down before the Most High as at the first 40 days and 40 nights. I did neither eat bread nor drink water, because of all your sins that you sinned in doing wickedly in the sight of the Most High to provoke him to anger. For I was afraid of the anger and hot displeasure. You know? So all you think that the Most High is all this loving, just kind individual only. You hear what he said? For I was afraid. Now that's fear. That's fear. He said, I was afraid. He was fearful of the Most High. For I was afraid of the anger and the hot displeasure, wherewith the Most High was wroth against you to destroy you. But the Most High hearkened unto me at that time also. And the Most High was very angry with Aaron to have destroyed him. And I prayed for Aaron also at the same time. See, that's why you gotta look at it. Are you gonna follow whatever it is that somebody tell you to do wrong and deal with the wrath of the Most High? When he's angry, displeased, and bringing his wrath or woe upon you. And I took your sin, the calf which ye had made, and burned it with fire, and stamped it, and ground it very small, even until it was as small as dust. And I cast the dust of it into the brook that descended out of the mountain. And that Tobarah, and that Messiah, and that Kimbrah, Atava, you provoked the Most High to wrath. Likewise, when the Most High sent you from Kadesh Barnea, saying, go up and possess the land which I have given you, then you rebelled against the commandment of the Most High your power, and ye believed him not, and hearkened to, and not hearkened to his voice. Didn't want to hear what he's saying. Now he's telling you, can you imagine? That's why I said, when you look at Israel, now the Most High is delivering us into the land that he promised Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And we're rebellious. We already seen the 10 plagues that he put upon the Egyptians, and nothing happened to us. Nothing. You've seen all those many plagues that he brought upon. You done seen the Red Sea open up, and we walking across the Red Sea on dry ground. You see the power of the Most High killing Pharaoh and all his chariots and all his army. Just close the sea back up. And still don't be rebellious and looking at building a calf to say, this who brought us out of captivity, slavery, and bondage in the land of Egypt. Just a bunch of degenerates, bunch of crazy, ill-mannered, as he gonna say, rebellious people. Just look, verse 24. Ye have been rebellious against the Most High from the day that I knew you. Woo! Moses said, we as people was rebellious against the Most High from the day he knew us. Thus I fell down before the Most High 40 days and 40 nights, as I fell down at the first, because the Most High had said he would destroy you. You had to fast 40 days and 40 nights crying to the Most High for us. So I prayed therefore unto the Most High and said, O Most High, please destroy not thy people and thine inheritance. Please which thou hast redeemed through thy greatness, which thou hast brought forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand. Remember thy servants, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Look not unto the stubbornness of this people, nor to their wickedness, nor to their sin, lest the land which thou broughtest us out say, because the Most High was not able to bring them into the land which he promised them, and because he hated them, he hath brought them out to slay them in the wilderness. So say, hey, Egyptians gonna be saying, hey, he wasn't able, you wasn't able, Most High, to bring the children of Israel into the land that you promised to them. But you brought them out there to kill them. See, this is the mindset that you look at least I look at in the scriptures to see what works. Solution. This Moses crying to the Most High. 40 days, 40 nights, he fasted, not eating anything, no water, no food. He telling the Most High, they say, yet they are thy people and thine inheritance, which thou broughtest out by thy mighty hand power and by thy stretched out arm. See? Look at Deuteronomy 10 and 12. Deuteronomy 10 and 12. And now, Israel, what does the Most High thy power require of thee, but to fear the Most High, thy power, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Most High thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul. That's what he requires of us, to fear him, and be obedient to his laws, statutes, and commandments. To keep the commandments of the Most High and his statute, which I command thee this day for thy good. Look at verse 20. Thou shalt fear the Most High, thy power. Him shalt thou serve, and to him shalt thou cleave, and swear by his name. See, we have to do this, people. Deuteronomy 11 and 1. Therefore, thou shalt love the Most High thy power, and keep his charge, and his statutes, and his judgments, and his commandments always. See? Always. That's why, look, 1 John 5 and 3. In the New Testament, because all they had to go by was the Old Testament, the law and the prophets. So what does it say? 1 John 5 and 3. For this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Mashiach Rashad told us, St. John 14 and 15. St. John 14 and 15. If you love me, keep my commandments. He said, if you love me, keep my commandments. Now don't get away from these laws now. He said he didn't come to destroy the law of the prophets. What is love? 2 John 6. Second John 6. Hold on. When you use them, they wear out. So, bear with me. 2 John 6. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments. See, this is love, that we walk after his commandments. The Most High's commandments. This is the commandment that ye, as ye have heard from the beginning, ye should walk in it. So, I'm telling us, we got to fear the Most High. Going back to Deuteronomy 11 and 1. Therefore, thou shalt fear Thou shalt love the Most High thy power, and keep his charge, and his statutes, and his judgments, and his commandments always. Look at Deuteronomy 18:3. Deuteronomy 18:3. And this shall be the priest due from the people, from them that offer a sacrifice, whether it be an ox or sheep, and they shall give unto the priest the shoulder and the two cheeks and the maw. This is the part that the priest was to give. Jump at verse 13. Thou shalt be perfect with the Most High thy power. See? For these nations which thou shalt possess, hearkeneth unto observers of times, and unto diviners. But as for thee, the Most High thy power have not suffered thee so to do. So all you that want to go to these psychics and all that, Most High ain't tell us to do that. We are the Most High. We don't need to go to no psychics and no palm readers and no what do you call them? Diviners, observers of times and so forth, astrologers and so forth, procrastinators and so forth. We don't need to deal with none of that because we have the Most High. He's our power. You see? And you notice when Moses threw his ride down, Pharaoh's little musicians threw their ride down, Moses' ride turned into a snake, theirs turned into three snakes. But Moses' snake ate theirs up. And the things that Moses was doing with the bringing forth the plagues, they couldn't do everything. They couldn't even match it. So that you know, that was from the Most High. Everything's from the Most High. But he just showed his power. He hardened his heart, Pharaoh's heart, so that he could show that he is the power. He brought forth all those plagues to him. Look at Deuteronomy 20:1. Laws concerning military. When thou goest out to battle against thine enemies, and seest horses and chariots and a people more than thou, be not afraid of them. Say, don't be afraid of them. You outnumbered. So don't be afraid of them. For the Most High thy power is with thee, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. It shall be when ye shall come nigh unto the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak unto the people, and shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint. Fear not, and do not tremble. Neither be ye terrified because of them. For the Most High your power is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies, to save you. Hallelujah. And the officers shall speak unto the people, saying, What man is there that hath built a new house, and hath not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle and another man dedicate it. So he said, you can build a house, you got a brand new house, you can go and dedicate your house. Well, if you die in the battle, then another man will come along and dedicate your house. He said, and what man is he that hath planted a vineyard and hath not yet eaten of it? Let him also go and return unto his house, lest he die in the battle and another man eat of it. See? You planted the vineyard, and you get a chance to enjoy the grapes or the yayan, the wine that's going to come from it. Say, hey, go back. So you can be able to enjoy that. Lest another man going to enjoy what it is that you have planted. Verse 7. And what man is there that hath betrothed a wife, and hath not taken her? Let him go and return unto his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man take her. So you say, you When you first get a wife, it was like a whole year before you went to battle. There's another man gonna take her. You die in the battle, and the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, what man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Which one are you scared and faint-hearted? Let him go and return unto his house, lest his brother's heart faint as well as his heart. Lest you bring that old fearfulness that you have inside of you and faint-heartedness that you have inside of you, go on to another soldier. Go back home. And it shall be, when the officers have made an end of speaking unto the people, that they shall make captains of the armies to lead the people. And when thou comest nigh or near unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it. And it shall be, if it make thee an answer of peace, and open unto thee, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee, and they shall serve thee. And they're going to pay them taxes, and give them monies and so forth. They're going to serve them. If you go there, you offer peace. You come for peace. It's okay, peace. And they're going to become tributaries to we the Israelites, showing you how powerful that the Most High was setting us up and did set us up. And if it, listen, verse 12, and if it will make no peace with thee, but will make war against thee, then thou shalt besiege it. See? You're going to take it over. And when the Most High thy power hath delivered it unto thine hands, read you again. And when the Most High thy power, your power, have delivered it into thine hands, this from the Most High, thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword. He said, thou shalt kill every man with the edge of the sword. Every male, may I say, with the edge of the sword. Every male with the edge of the sword. But the women and the little ones, their children, and the cattle, and all that is in the city, even all the spoil thereof, so that you know women were spoils, and the children were spoils, and the cattle was spoiled, shalt thou take unto thyself. So you take unto yourself, these women and children, take unto yourself, and thou shalt eat the spoil of thine enemies, which the Most High thy power hath given thee. Thus shalt thou do unto all the cities which are very far off from thee, which are not of the cities of these nations, but of the cities of these people, which the Most High thy power doth give thee for an inheritance. Thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth. You hear that? He say, of the cities of these people, which the Most High thy power does give thee for an inheritance, thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth, but thou shalt utterly destroy them. Namely, he naming them now, the Hittites, and the Amorites, the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, as the Most High thy power hath commanded thee, that they teach you not to do after all their abominations which they have done unto their gods. So should ye sin against the Most High your power. That's why he said, when thou shalt besiege a city a long time, and making war against it to take it, thou shalt not destroy the trees thereof by forcing an axe against them, but thou mayest eat of them. Thou shalt not cut them down, for the tree of the field is man's life, to employ them in the seas. Only the trees which thou knowest that they be not trees for me, thou shalt destroy and cut them down. And thou shalt build bulwarks against the city that maketh war with thee, until it be subdued. See? That's our laws from the Most High. So you see, He told us not to save any. Don't leave alive any of them. Any of the people, period. Man, women, or children of those nations that he named. And he told us also in Deuteronomy 7:3 concerning them nations. He said, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Deuteronomy 7:3. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. But thus shalt thou deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art the holy people unto the Most High thy power. The Most High thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. This is the 12 tribes of Israel. Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So he chose us to be a special people unto himself, a holy people unto himself, following his commandments, his rules and regulations, that he can bless us to be his people and to be above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And we were that and living in that way at some time. But what do? We broke his laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what we did. Let me just show you what we did. I ain't just talking about it, show you what we did. Daniel 9 and 11. We lied to the Most High, said we're going to keep his commandments. Yeah. Daniel 9:11. Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, broken the Most High's laws, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. See, that's what happened to us, and it. You looking at from captivity to captivity, from the Egyptian captivity to the Assyrian captivity, to the Babylonian captivity, to the Persian Mede captivity, to the Greek captivity, to the Roman captivity, when the Mashiach came on the earth, to now. Still rebellious, still against the Most High. Still talking about we don't have to follow him. And got a whole lot of people, a lot of you believe that. You believe that. That's why he told us in Jeremiah 17:4. Jeremiah 17:4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine inheritance that I gave thee. He said, you're going to discontinue from the land of Israel that the Most High gave us. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. See? You come back and say, thus say the Most High power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. What did he say? Cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Most High, whose mind departed from the Most High. See? We departed from the Most High. We just read that in Daniel 9:11. And how you depart from him? By not following his laws, statutes, commandments, his rules and regulations. Verse 7. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Most High, and whose hope the Most High's is. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters. You know, a tree planted by the waters, man, it's going to be flourishing with fruit. And that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh. But her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought. Neither shall cease from yielding fruit. See? and be fruitful continually. That's those that trust and have faith in the Most High. So where are you at? That's why Mashiach HaMashiach gave us clear directions and instructions. Look at Matthew 9. And we'll look at verse 36. But when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd. Then said he unto his disciples, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. See, the few that's going to really do this laboring to do what the Most High want men, the leaders, to do in these last days. Pray therefore the Most High of the harvest that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. Need laborers. Laborers to do this. Say go to Isaiah 49 and verse 5 and 6. And now said the Most High that formed me from the womb, be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him. See? It's all about to bring Jacob again to the Most High. Though Israel be not gathered, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Most High. And my power shall be my strength. And he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob. See, that's what we hear. To raise up the tribes of Jacob. And to restore the preserved of Israel. I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation to the end of the earth. So, you're looking at these Gentiles are the scattered of the children of Israel. Just like a lot of you out there, your family members and so forth, what do they call themselves? They call themselves Gentiles. They call themselves Gentiles. And you know it. They tell you in a minute, the Jews killed. No, we don't know Israelites. We ain't no Jews because the Jews killed Christ. They've been programmed to say that. Certain things, I could just, off the top of my head, I know because it's the same thing. No matter where I've been in the world, it's the same things being said. It's the same doctrine. They did a hell of a job. I'll say hell of a job because it ain't true. It's from hell. It ain't from heaven. Because the Most High, His word is in here. Precept for precept, line upon line. Give a little and there a little. You see? It's not brought out like this. You know, else you wouldn't know who you are. You wouldn't know that the Most High is calling Jacob back to himself through the blood of a Mashiach Yahushua, him dying for us. There will be no question in your mind at all. If you question it, so therefore you're the enemy of a Mashiach Yahushua, the enemy of the Most High, because you caught up in the world. And you at war with the Most High. James 4:4 says that all day long. It ain't going nowhere. You're a friend of the world. You at war with the Most High. You're the enemy of the Most High. Your enmity means you at war with the Most High. And you're the enemy of the Most High. That's why you got to come out to these laws that you come out to this truth. So I want to go into something we were talking about earlier. And I want to go first to Luke 16. And we're going to start at verse 19. It says, There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day. Just a moment.